do you ever look at the photos from your camera and think to yourself, I can't remember taking that? Or can you? I mean, why the hell did I take that? Well, I've got 3 quick thoughts for you to use when you take photos. And if you do this, I guarantee you're going to see immediate results. Really, honestly, you will be amazed at what 3 little words or 3 little questions are going to do to improve your photography. So ask yourself, what goes through your head when you take a photo? I mean, how much do you actually consider what the final image is going to look like? That's the key word, by the way, the final image. You know, before you press the button, what's the final image? How many fixes have you seen online for this? Books crammed full of poses, composition rules, technical data on cameras' capabilities and lens charts, showing you just how sharp the edge of the glass is. And worst of all, plugins and presets that, you know, claim to help you turn every average photo into something vaguely interesting. It's not real, that's the problem. So let's be honest, if you stop to browse through any of these when you were taking photos, then your subject is going to be long gone by the time you actually worked out what you were doing. So how can you streamline it? How can you find a process to ensure you're getting the images you deserve? Well, it's actually easier than you think. What you need is a thought process like these 3 little quick thoughts. Let's call them shooting thoughts. Lots of top sports stars use thoughts to keep their performance at the very top of their game. Look at golf, for instance. Nick Faldo won the world titles with a swing thought of thumbs up. In his swing, thumbs up. Justin Thomas's swing thought is cover the ball. Paul Casey says posture and width to himself as he swings. Colin Morikawa says hands behind my ears. They're all things sort of helping them. You see, having a thought works for world champions, so it can also work for you. Forget all the detail. When you bring your camera up to shoot a photo, I'm going to tell you the 3 questions to ask yourself. Answer these 3 things positively, and you are on the way to some top images. So, what are they? Okay, let's reveal the 3 things. The 3 things that you need to think before firing the shutter. Number 1, and this might seem obvious to you, but I want you to ask yourself, what am I taking a picture of? No, really, what's the subject? What's the point? What are you trying to say? Because sometimes we see something interesting and we just raise our camera and snap without any real thought. So I'm saying stop and think. What are you trying to show? What's the subject? You see, if you know what the photo is of, you can scan the image in the viewfinder and say to yourself, yeah, it really is a photo of that. Because, you see, first and foremost, your image needs to have a point, a reason. It needs to have a subject. And now that may be a person, it may be an object, could even be a place, or a building, or a moment in time. But it's something. So be honest with yourself and say, what am I photographing? And have I made it the point of the photograph? And if you are honest with yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give yourself for making this image the subject? You know, I'd say if you are genuinely 7 out of 10 or above, then continue. You're onto something. There is a good picture in here in the making. So once you've decided that, once you know what you're photographing, then ask yourself, how have I lit the subject? Have you controlled the lighting? Could you have improved it? If you move position, could it be better? If you added an extra lighting source, would it improve? And is the entire shot lit the way that you want it to be? Maybe the light on the subject is perfect, but the background is bleached out or in shadow. So what could you do about that? How could you improve it? And if you waited would it improve? If you came back another day, would it be better? If I moved to a higher or lower position, would it be better? But again, it's got to be at least a 7 out of 10, because if it is, push on to thought number 3, the final thought, and that is, how have I composed the image? Is it square or not? Is it centered? Is it on a slant? Is it off center? Is there anything distracting? Does the background add to the picture or take away from the point of the photograph? You know, if I move a little left, a little right, up or down, if I get on my knees, could I improve the composition of this picture? Look carefully, but look quickly. Is everything you want it to be a 7 out of 10? Now, you've got to be honest with yourself here, but if you do have at least a 7 out of 10 on all 3, the subject of the photo is clear, it's well lit, and it's the composition that you want. Well, go for it. Click the shutter. Do the deed. Capture the image. Use these 3 lighting thoughts. Subject, lighting, composition. Subject, lighting, composition. Every time, get them equally high. And I tell you, you start doing that, your photos are going to start shining bright and you'll notice a difference. And if you use the thoughts and get one of them and think, well, actually, no, I don't know what this photo is about, or the lighting's really not that great, is it? Or the composition is messy, walk away. Save your time. Save it for a picture worthy of being one of your shots. Hey, give my 3 thoughts technique a go. And let me know in the comments just how much your shots improve. Because I know they will if you do this. Oh, and while you're down there, you might as well hit the subscribe button as well. Yeah, it's right there. The next video might be the one that improves your photography even more. So, hey, you don't want to miss that, do you? So, let's be honest. 3 thoughts. Put it into your photography, and I think you'll improve every shot you take. Give it a go. Oh, and if you want something else to watch that's going to improve your photography as well, try this video here.